Hi, everyone. We just freshly watched the movie Hell Goes to Frogtown. And wow, that was completely out of the. I wasn't expecting that to be as good as what it was. Fair. I'm gonna ask you first. You've seen this movie before, correct? Cuffenheim
Many times.
in the theater.
No, sadly, no. I didn't get to see it in the theater.
Okay. I don't even remember this movie being advertised. I don't remember this movie having a lead up. I don't remember Mean Gene Okerlund talking about it because he had Roddy Piper in it.
Oh, no, no, no. He got into a lot of trouble with the WWF for doing this movie. It's one of the main things that made him almost quit. Both
Really?
he and Jesse Ventura got it, their first movies. Vince wanted a piece of them, and nobody wanted to work with Vince, and so he tried to ban them from doing their movies. And both of them went, "Fuck you, we're leaving." And Vince was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa."
Wow. I don't remember that. Um, Josh, you've seen this movie a few times too, correct?
Yes, it was USA Up All Night and various cable showings of bad movies, cheesy schlock, all
I
that good
I,
stuff.
I wouldn't put this in the bad movie category. Schlock, yes, but
Oh,
This
movie,
absolute
is
schlock.
like cheese on toast.
yes.
Okay,
It
hang on. Before you guys start dissecting it, Donald Jackson's other famous movie series is the Rollerblade series, okay? And if you've watched them, this is a light year ahead of what he did in those movies, okay? Like, let's just be honest. Those movies are absolute TNA, schlock, nonsensical violence, okay? The effects guy on this was, what's his name? Oh, shit, I forget his name. He really good. Like, he's a really good effects guy. He's a master of using forced perspective and stuff like that, and plates, and then making things look. So I've seen a few other movies the guy's done the effects on. Something Yang, Stephen Wang, something like that.
I'm going
And
with.
he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. You know. So the talent on this film is really good. Ultimately, they had a better budget, and they weren't going for the TNA like they do in their other films. So this is an artifact of this time, to be honest. All right, I'm done pontificating.
Steve Wang was
Steve
the
Wang,
makeup.
that's it.
He was makeups artist. Uh, Janet, first time seeing, correct?
Yes, and I loved it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
I
even.
was surprised. It was very schlocky, but comical, sci-fi-ish. It had everything. Had romance, had action, drama. Uh, it made me laugh a lot. It was very 80s.
Yes,
Everything that you don't see today in today's movies. And I was really surprised how good the acting was. The special effects were pretty good. And the story was even decent. I mean, and the music, I mean, I really couldn't, honestly, I couldn't pick out any specific thing to take out and say how shitty it was. Even the editing, considering how low the budget was. It was very good.
Well, Stephen
No.
Wang did the effects for the two Guyver live action movies as well.
Mhm.
So if you've seen the Guyver live action movies, the
they're
guy's
on.
got talent, and when he has a budget, he can really do interesting
Yeah.
things.
They've got
Yeah,
to be
but
on the
I
list.
heard that they started out with a $3 million budget and it got slashed down to 1 million.
On this, oh, I
Yeah,
believe it.
so
Actually, the thing that boosted it back up to 1 million was New World was going to make this part of their like direct to video line, and when they had Sandal Bergman, when she got involved, that was when they're like, "Well, fuck, we need to have other SAG individuals involved with this. That's going to force our hand. We have to actually give this movie money so they can pay people."
Well,
And
you
yeah.
so they
know who
went for the.
owns New World, right? Or who owned New World at the time?
I don't know who owned New World at the time.
Corman.
Really?
Yeah, New World at one point owned Marvel Comics, dude. So at one point in time, Corman owned Marvel Comics.
Oh my god,
Yeah, I
that's
was
my,
I never lost a
pleasantly
penny.
surprised, presently surprised on how much I enjoyed the movie. I could not stop watching. It was really, really, really good. I'm really happy that I watched it. And thank you for you guys letting me watch it, because it was just really good. The woman, I just loved the lady frog lady. The makeup was excellent. I mean, really, really good, because she didn't seem like she was awkward in it or anything. It seemed very natural. And the fact that it was creepy and slimy looking, oh, it just it made me want to barf for thinking that she was going to want to make out with him, and what the rest of her body must have felt like. It was really creepy, but I just thought it was really, really well done.
It's kind of like when you get a fully matured gremlin wet again. That's what I was thinking.
I think it was a little grosser than those little things popping off of a gremlin.
This is a fantastic film. I'm just looking at the credits list here of what Steve Lang has done before. He was involved as a creature effects unit guy for Predator. He was on Baker's crew for Harry and the Hendersons.
Yep.
Deep Star 6, which is one of my favorite really bad movies. He was involved with The Dream Child, Nightmare on Elm Street. That's probably one of the worst ones, but probably one of the best ones for the practical effects. He was involved with Gremlins 2, The New Batch, a classic, which we need to discuss at some point. And only, like you said, the Guyver 2 movies, Guyver.
Well, can I ask the question real quick?
Go ahead.
Voice of the two leading frogs, the badass ones, the one he fought in the bar, and the bad guy that had the 3 snakes. Ew,
Bull and Toady.
Were their voices, or were they also in the Dark Crystal? Because when that one spoke, it sounded like one of the older Skeksis. To me, did it to you too?
The voice of Bull was a guy named Nicholas Worth, and the voice of Toady was not finding it. Hang on a second. And then there's the character of Squid Lips.
Every time he spoke, I was like, "Oh, it sounds like a Skeksis to me."
Commander Toady was Brian Frank. So let's see. Nicholas Worth, a lot of video games, Darkman.
Paulie.
Gotta go back in time. Back into the 80s. Not seeing it, no, but hang on, let me get back. No Dark Crystal on his resume. Let's try Brian Frank.
He did a good voice, though.
Oh, he was in Pacific Rim. How neat. Hell Comes to Frogtown. No, his first credit was a 1986 episode of Matlock.
Well, that's who he reminded me of. Did anybody else think that?
It sounded familiar.
It did.
Like it could pass.
I listen, I think they're absolutely brilliant. Everybody in the film has so much fun with it. You can see that regardless of what's going on around them, they're enjoying what they're doing. Yeah. And Bull is just so fucking quotable. Like he's just the shut your hole. Like just that scene is like so good. And
the part where he's sitting in the chair and she's dancing around, and then you see something wiggling underneath her. I almost threw up. I swear to God.
You're walking the 3
lift up and sing. I covered my eyes because I was afraid that they were going to show something. It was just disgusting. Oh, the whole scene was just gross.
Muties.
It was terrible. It's scary.
Enough said.
Greeners.
And I'd never seen anything like this before. I know that sounds weird for me to say, but this movie is a step in a direction that I was not expecting. I was expecting much, much worse. Boy, this movie was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I was expecting it not to be
Thank
this
you,
good.
Nerdy Ogre.
Good, too.
Yeah, it has heart.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It had likable characters. Like I'm always saying that you need a good character arc. So you start out with this guy, and it's kind of corny at the very beginning because he's a prisoner and he's a he's always getting in trouble and causing problems, right? But then when they find out that he's got a huge sperm count, that he can help repopulate and start, getting life going again, then they decide, maybe we can use this guy. I just thought the whole concept was hilarious. And what man, any man I've ever talked to, would not want to have to save his country, fornicate across the planet? You wouldn't want to do it? Why? Every man would want to do
Because I'm
that.
evolved, Janet. I don't know why. Because I don't like I'm not. Look,
You're not a piece of meat.
I'm not going to go into it. Okay, I'm just not going to go into it. But
I
it's
just
not
thought that
how I
whole
roll.
concept was hilarious. How he kept saying, I'm not a piece of meat, all that stuff, like what women are always saying. I just
That's
thought
not
the
a
whole
plan. It's a
plot
plot
was
to
great.
murder me.
Yeah, I just thought it was so funny. The whole concept was
Well,
totally
post-COVID,
not expected by me at all. I thought it was great.
So I wonder what happened to Sec Virile since then, because she hasn't been in films since like 2001.
Sec Veryl's career just kind of collapsed in on itself, sadly, because it seems like Donald Jackson knew how to get a performance out of her in this film. Everything else I've seen her in, she's terrible, and I think it's because the directors just don't know how to direct her. But she does flat, sarcastic, sardonic snark really well. And I tell you, I watched this movie, and I love Sandal Bergman. I have like a huge thing for Sandal Bergman, but I was all about Sentinella in this movie.
Yeah, she kind of steals the sex appeal away from Sandal. And Sandal's like just a sex symbol. She's, she was almost replaced by Sybil Danning, which that would have made it just a little bit better in my opinion, because I'm a big Sybil Danning guy.
God,
But
no.
I love Sec Virile in this movie. She was just fun.
Oh no, she was really good. And the other problem is like, let's be honest, Sandal Bergman was like insanely skinny when she made this movie.
Yeah.
So like that bit when she's trying to be sexy and she does the stretch and her fucking rib cage looks like a xylophone. It was like
all I can think was the xylophone.
like no, just don't.
I was surprised how little all the women's boobs were. It was like
the days before, the 80s, you were allowed to have small tits. It was just the reality.
Well, I'm just saying, most men, flock to movies that have lots of hooters and curvy figures and things like that. At least the guys that I know of. But it seemed like every single one of the women were very athletic. I guess that would fit for the time that supposedly the setting, after the war, you wouldn't really have a lot of people that were really heavy, things like that, because of the amount of food there wasn't to get. And when you saw him eating the food at the frog place, he wasn't too happy to eat. So he probably would have lost some weight himself if he had to stay, somewhere like that.
But at the same time, he's put on the case by dollar store Amanda Waller, so. Just saying.
It's just, but I did love the frilliness of all the women's clothing in the Frogtown. They were all wearing, lots of lace and bouffant, furry looking things. Her shoes, I just was laughing my ass off. Her doing all those, running and doing all the stuff, driving that Jeep and doing all that stuff, wearing those little slippers with a little white poof on it. I just thought it was just funny. I mean, it was very clumsy, but it was entertaining. And see, that's what I loved about it, is because it's so hard today to find anything that you can sit and laugh through the whole thing and feel for the characters and want them to win, but not be going, because it's overdone or whatever. It was just really, really entertaining. I dreaded almost watching it because I was thinking, oh my God, what is Bruce got me watching again, that kind of thing. But it ended up being really, really good. I'm really, really excited. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself, but
but that's okay. That's what you want from a movie. You want to be excited.
Everything. It has everything you want, entertainment wise, I think.
Yeah, it's a great film. I love it.
It was really good.
This year could be a module for like Twilight 2000 or 2380,
Gamma World, or After the Bomb, or whatever. Take your pick, man.
out of all the Mad Max spoofs and ripoffs, this is like one of the better ones out of the hundreds that
I've
were
seen
made.
a lot of bad Italian movies, okay, and like 90% of them were all Mad Max ripoffs. That's that.
I've
This
yeah, I've lived in that world of the bad Conan ripoffs from Italy and the bad Mad Max ripoffs from Italy, and I love them all. They're amazing.
This one here was like done with talent and panache. And King Eric, this movie we're talking about is called Hell Comes to Frogtown. It's in the title.
It's
But
in the title there, King Eric. Just read, man. Come
yeah,
on.
you'll if you just do a search on it, you can find it on Tubi. It's an amazing little film. And when I say little, like it's like made for $1 million.
What I really like is that Piper's next film is They Live. And the amount of weight he loses between the two films is amazing. Like you can tell he's coming straight out of the ring into this movie. And then by the time he gets to They Live, he's been out of the ring for a while because he's no longer bulked up, super bulked, right? It's in his face. You see how wide his face is in this movie. It's like to think about what kind of life he had to live. No wonder he died young, you know. Like he had to what they did to their bodies to be in the wrestling in those days was insane, you know.
Well, do you remember? Do you remember the supplement called Cybergenics? They used to be big in the late '80s, early '90s. I did that for a while.
Oh, the weight gain supplement.
Yeah, and I went from like 120 pounds to like 145 pounds at the time, and my gains were great, but like if I got off of it, like that weight, I pissed it out. There was no longevity in the muscles that you built up. You had to stay on it, and you had to keep the caloric intake coming. You had to keep going on your positive and negative failure workout routines, and you had to go like 3 hours in the gym 4 days a week or more just to have those results. And if you didn't, well, you lost it.
Have you seen the Steel Dawn Patrick Swayze that they're talking about?
I have seen Steel Dawn.
I've never seen it. Is it worth watching?
I haven't seen it.
Once or twice, yeah.
I would say watch it.
Hey Bear, show the chat some love, baby. Who the fuck let the 70s in? Show the chat some love, baby. All right, here's some love for the chat right there. Here comes your love. All right, you got you.
Oh, I forgot about it.
Yeah, Cyborg with JCVD. That was one of my favorite post-apocalyptic movies of all time.
I like Nemesis, the first Albert Pune Nemesis movie. I love that one.
Though Albert Pune did both that and Cyborg.
Yes, and many others.
Yes, he was a master at the post-apocalyptic film. I don't know why.
What is that movie he did? Well, anyway, let's talk about Hell Comes Frogtown. Fuck, sorry.
Sorry about that. We can talk about whatever the hell we want. It's our video.
Was it World War III, biological warfare? The population of Earth is at an all-time low. Women have formed the provisional government, and they're rounding up every virile, fertile man they can to stud out and try to save humanity.
Well, that made sense to me in the plot, because men, they just want to go out and kick ass and bring home the food, that kind of stuff, and be rowdy and rebuild and things like that. Women, they want to nurture in nature, right? So when they realize that a lot of them can't have babies anymore, and they find out through science that there's some women that are fertile, we just have to find some fertile men, that they would take charge in trying to find that, because that's why women are in harems. Women are able to become the one who sits back and just takes care of the home. And a lot of women, that's all they want to do. They want to be a mother and a housekeeper, basically, and have the man bring back everything that she needs to take care of her family for nesting or whatever. So that whole concept to me made a lot of sense, at least with me, because, I like being a girl. And, I can go out and do things in the yard and hunt and do all that stuff too, but I'd rather have someone to do it with than do it by myself. I have to, fill all that gap by myself. So in a way, that whole concept behind the script didn't seem so far-fetched to me, because I think if we ever did have the ending of the world, women would do that. They would want to start gardens. They would want to take care of children and try to make sure that that we did start over, that we did have nurturing and stuff, so that we'd have more people to take over when we're old and we can't do it anymore. So
yeah, guaranteed, Janet. Like, I agree with you, but there'd be a hell of a lot more women who are like, "Ah, the world sucks, but this guy will give me food and keep me warm. Fuck it, go Overlord!" Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, I do believe that.
This movie is really a good peek into what life would be like in a post-apocalyptic society. I think because it does a better job of showing that narrative and that mind frame that a lot of people would be in than say movies like Space Hunter, The Adventures in Forbidden
Don't you
Zone.
speak badly about Space Hunter and the Forbidden Zone, sir.
In that one,
It's got Molly
I
Ringwald
will
before she was
never
Molly
get
Ringwald.
It's one of my favorite films, dude. It's my top 10.
Really? It's not a bad movie. It's Michael Ironside's
Okay.
absolute best.
Let me give you a different perspective on it, Bruce.
Okay.
Watch it again, take notes, and turn it into a D&D adventure.
Space Hunter in 3D would work perfect as a D&D adventure.
It would. Someone's been kidnapped. Your team's been hired. They've got to travel into the Forbidden Zone to rescue them, where the evil wizard has them held in his base or whatever. And the alchemist is using these people to extend the wizard's life or the lich's life or whatever you fucking want. And then take all of those moment beats, fighting the Amazons and the weird sea dragon, fighting the fucking weird floaty people, the mutant
diaper
kids,
babies.
with Molotov cocktails. I mean, come on.
Yes.
How badass would that fucking campaign be?
Be a lot of fun. I'm not slamming on Space Hunter, okay? I'm just saying that Space Hunter is not as good as Hell Comes to Frogtown. Hell Comes to Frogtown, I feel, is a superior film.
Oh, I haven't seen the other one. Yeah.
I like them both. They both do a really good job of showcasing what we would cobble together and try to start with that society thing. But this movie, this was really great, and seeing Sandal Bergman just try to be, that alpha female that she's capable of it. But I think this movie here is probably like there was some other stuff going on. It was only filmed in 19 days. They 3 weeks. That was the time frame they had from start to finish on filming. So if she wasn't in the right headspace for like one day of shooting, like there's some parts of this film that just are a little inconsistent. Just some facial expressions. That's about all. But it could have been a little better. She's probably the one part of the movie that I winced at while I was watching. Like, yeah.
What movie are we talking about here?
Yeah, which one?
I'm talking about Hell Comes to Frogtown. Sandal Bergman there was a couple points where like they're filming and her facial expressions just weren't selling it for me.
Oh my god, no! I loved her facial expressions because she's so out of her element. That's what makes this movie fun. Right? Her journey is when you look at that first scene she shows up, she's just wide-eyed and watching and says nothing and flips the Conan's dad and all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then as the movie progresses, she's now in charge of the mission, so she acts like a complete bitch about it, but she's kind of really getting into Sam because Sam's showing her stuff she didn't expect. And then, oh, she's a prisoner, and now she's got to fucking defend her and free her, and she frees herself and then teams up with Sam, and they kick ass. That's a fucking arc.
Yeah,
her
that's
facial expressions change as the arc goes on, and you see the confidence build in her acting. I think she does a great job in this movie. You and me, sir, we're going to have to go to the top of the hill and wrestle this out.
And also, people don't realize how hard it is to be a person that doesn't wear glasses, okay, regularly, and then have a character where you have to wear glasses almost the whole movie, and bend your head down and do all these different movements and try to seem natural wearing glasses. Little things like that most people don't notice. And the earrings, I absolutely hated them. They were so freaking ugly. Oh, I just hated her earrings. But they made sense for the part that because she was so nerdy and geekish, right? So she would wear geeky, nerdish earrings and the big, ugly, awful glasses. But when he got to put the chain around her neck, and kind of give her a little taste of her own medicine. I just love the whole way it rolled out. And when he took her to the side, he took her glasses and he just chucked them, and then he pulled her hair out, pulled it down, and he was looking at her. He got to see a different side of the sexy woman that was behind the geekish marm. You know what I mean? I love that. It was like a transition for her and for him and his point of view, getting to see her as a sexy. I just loved it. I thought they did good, just like we talked about. I got a little goosebumps thinking about it. The chemistry between the two of them. Did they end up dating or anything that we know of?
Bergman and
very
Roddy.
Piper was married. Piper is like famous for his loyalty to his wife and family. Like, he was
well, that's awesome. You see, I didn't know that much about him. I wasn't really into wrestling or any of those things, but they had good chemistry. It was almost like I said. I know you guys probably heard me. I ended up turning my mic off, but I said they act like they're married.
Yep.
The little bickering between the two of them. I guarantee they picked on each other all the time they were working on set. They were just really adorable. It made it more fun because it came across to me from the film the camaraderie between the two of them, and I liked it.
I really enjoyed this film. I for some odd reason I really think I'm going to probably watch this movie again here later on in the next couple days, because this is of that level of schlock that puts you in a comfort film mindset, like say Big Trouble in Little China or Time Bandits. Cyborg would be another one I could see easily interchanging these VHS or Betamax tapes throughout the afternoon as I get home from school and just popping them in, and while I'm doing homework, this is on. It's a fantastic movie. It really is. And I thought this was just a welcome surprise. Nerdy Ogre, I owe you a beer, sir. Thank you for asking us about this movie.
Yeah, because I never even heard of it before you guys brought it up. So I'm glad I got to watch it.
We need to watch Time Bandits too. Sorry.
I bought a copy of this from my friendly local video store back in the 80s. And I watched it so many times. Eventually, one day, the VCR just ate the tape. I just devoured it. It was like the tape, whatever that material is called, mylar, whatever it is, had thinned out so much that it just. And I was like so sad. And then my buddy went to New York for something, and he came back. He's like, "Here," he gave me a new copy, and I'm like, "What? No! Yay!"
You have good friends.
Yeah,
those things for you.
That's the most terrible sound in the world when your VHS player eats your tape. That is just like you get instant sadness and panic all at once, and it's already too late. There's no coming back from that either.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a movie that if I get to do it, hopefully this summer, I get to get with my sisters again, because I know they have never seen it. This is a movie that I would get and get popcorn and stuff and sit around and watch it. This is something I think they would all like. Now, it might be a little bit over the top for one of my sisters when it comes to some of the, the nasty parts of it. But I think they'd laugh a lot. I know Sandy and Jennifer would really enjoy it. The other two might not like some of it, but I still think it's very entertaining. This is a good popcorn movie for me.
Sec Virile and the M60 just is like comfort food in visual sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're from, stranger? Nowhere nice. I fucking love that line. That is like the best line. That's a comeback and a half. Where you from? Nowhere nice. Like, I just fucking love this movie. Have you seen They Live, Janet?
Yeah, but only some of it. So I've only seen some of it. I don't know what was going on. I think it was my, maybe it was the show that I was watching, because I didn't watch it when it came out or anything. I saw it on TV, and it was like a late movie or something like that. And I remember watching some of it.
You need to watch it.
Yeah, that's why I think it's on our list, isn't it, Bruce?
Bailiff is on the list,
Oh.
along with the other part of the Apocalypse trilogy.
Yes, Keith David's in it too.
Yes. Which that really surprised me because I didn't think that John Carpenter would use him twice for such an iconic role in 2 movies, but he did a very good job.
Yeah, but look at Prince of Darkness. He used most of the cast from Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
You know,
But he
Carpenter's
likes
a very loyal director.
people like with that, I don't know, that laid back kind of personality like Kurt Russell and Roddy have. They have this kind of laid back way of looking at things, and apparently they take good direction when they're told to do something. They kind of like pick up on what they're wanting from them, and they're able to work with them. A lot of directors like that. They like someone that they can tell one time, this is what my vision, and they just have a connection with an actor, and you'll see them want to work with them again multiple times. So
There's
they had
a director.
relationship.
There's one director that I want to watch his films with you guys, but I don't think it'll come out well because it's Kurt Wimmer. And Kurt Wimmer's movies are notorious for he'll pick people to be on the cast, or they'll pick people for the casting, but yet then like something will happen and I'll do like between 20 and 35 takes on something. And I just can't imagine over 5 takes.
Oh, dude. Let me tell you, there were days on set where you're doing like take 53 and you're like, Jesus Christ. And you just got to keep going. You got to turn it on, turn it on, turn it on. That's just the way it is. Bane, to answer your comment, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, really? Buckaroo Banzai? I don't know what you're talking about. It's not like it's my favorite movie of all time. I don't know what you're talking about, Bane.
Yeah, we did that last week or 2 weeks ago.
Great movie.
Yeah, it was fun. I'd never seen it either, so I was happily impressed with that one.
Who is this director you're talking about?
Kurt Wimmer?
What's he done? Give me 2 of his films.
2 of his films would be Salt and Equilibrium.
I've
seen both.
The Recall. He did Sphere, Total Recall, the remake.
Yeah.
Children of the. What was the other one?
Yeah.
I liked Salt. I
writer
thought Salt wasn't too bad.
But as a director, he did One Tough Bastard.
Never saw it.
There's also a movie he did with the Barbarian Brothers. He has a scene with the Barbarian Brothers in it, and I need to have Janet react to that.
Are you referring to the Sword and Sorcery movie he did? Is that the one?
No, he didn't do that one. He did one where they were moving. They were a moving company.
Oh, okay, because that's an amazing movie.
Yeah, the Barbarians are that's a fantastic film. Janet will need to see it. That's all I can say.
I've seen Event Horizon. I loved it. So I would watch it again on here.
Wait, Philip Noyce directed Salt.
No, Kurt Wimmer was involved with it pretty hard.
He might have been, but Philip Noyce is the listed director.
Yeah, but he did the writing.
Yeah, he wrote it. Yeah, Kurt Wimmer. Yeah, he wrote it. So what did he direct? Director, One Tough Bastard, Equilibrium, which I liked, Ultraviolet, which was meh, the remake of Children of the Corn. Yeah, that's about it. He wrote a bunch of other stuff.
Ultraviolet had like 45 minutes cut out of it before the theatrical release was allowed.
He was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best movie, but it wasn't the worst either. So
it was a big fat meh.
It was okay. I've seen a lot worse.
Seen a lot better.
I want to see. I think I sent you a note and said, please put Eon Flux on there.
Oh God, that movie is so bad.
No, I thought it was pretty good. It was a lot of good things about it.
Have you ever watched the cartoons, though, Janet? Have you ever watched the Source
seen the cartoon? No, I haven't.
That's why. So you haven't seen the cartoons, so you go, Aeon Flux, that's a decent little film. You've seen the cartoons, and then you see that, and you're like, what the fuck did they do to Aeon Flux?
Oh, see, I'm glad I didn't see it then, because I really did enjoy. I didn't enjoy every aspect of it. Some of it was kind of like, I didn't make sense. It didn't connect or something. But the overall story was very interesting. Had a really good concept, I thought. So, and the acting was pretty good too. Because I believe that in the future we will be close to doing something like that. I really did believe that what they were
In
doing.
the future, there will be robots.
Mhm. And there'll
Sorry.
be, I think there'll be clones too.
No, that's a Grand Theft Auto Vice City
Oh
reference.
yeah, I've only played that like twice. I'm not very good at it.
It's one of the radio station ads is for this play, this musical dance play called "In the Future There Will Be Robots," and it's really bad,
Oh,
but it's funny.
I've never heard that before.
Oh my god, I've literally played Vice City not to do the missions, not to do anything other than steal a car, drive around listening to music, and do jumps. Like I would just listen to every radio station completely until it repeated.
in the
I loved
game
it.
you can do
In
that.
the game.
I would
I wish
drive
I
around
could
and listen to the
drive
radio too.
because I just can't even drive. That's my worst part. I practice and practice and practice, and I just cannot. I can't do anything without ramming into stuff. So for hours, so it's just really bad. That's why I just don't play driving games at all. Even on SpongeBob SquarePants game, I couldn't drive the hamburger. I stink at driving, so it's just not my forte, I guess.
Interesting.
Not lack of trying though. That's
Yeah.
why I like being a goat when I play Goat Simulator. Oh, it's terrible.
Barry, are you going to get GTA 6?
No,
No.
I
What
liked
is
Vice City because it was set in the '80s and they played lots of '80s music on the radio, and I was quite happy.
I was into San Andreas. That was mine.
Way too much rap.
Yeah, too much rap, but I liked that one. And I liked part 3. I never played Vice City. I need to play Vice City. It's kind of funny because you had mentioned a few weeks ago about Manhunter with
Yes,
1986 movie.
yes, Michael Mann's
Yeah,
Manhunter. Yeah.
yeah. I noticed that Michael Mann did that, and I was wanting either to watch Band of the Hand or Manhunter, and I think we're going to watch Manhunter next week.
I would suggest Band of the Hand.
Really,
Dude, Band of the Hand
I haven't
is
seen either one.
I love that movie. That was on the same beta tape as Critters. Whenever those were on
Yep.
syndication, so
Critters is a great movie.
they came out the same week on syndication, so I recorded them both, and that was like the most worn out Betamax I had for about 3 years till the VCR just ate it.
Well, then, since you've seen Band of the Hand, then definitely do Manhunter.
I'll let the panel decide because I'm open for either. Never seen Manhunter, but I could watch Band of the Hand again.
You know, next Sunday is Easter, right?
Both are great.
Say again?
Next Sunday is Easter.
Yeah. Janet, are you doing anything for Easter or are you staying home?
I don't know yet. I haven't had a chance to talk to my daughter about what she wants to do.
Okay. I guess next week is going to be a paint and chill. So,
Yeah. But what I wanted to bring up was the fact that I found a piece of trivia. Did you guys recognize the rocks that those two had their battle on?
Yes, the Vasquez Rock, baby.
wasn't that in Star Trek?
Yeah.
It's the Bourne.
Well, I was like, when I read that, I was like, oh, I'm going to start. I can't wait to see that scene. And I was like, yeah, you could definitely tell. So isn't that great that they can reuse stuff like that, and people that are into sci-fi or whatever would recognize it when they see it in the background or whatever. I think that's really
Do you want to know why you see Vasquez rocks so often in movies and television?
yeah, sure. Why?
So LA, when they were creating the boundary for what is considered local versus travel, the boundary is literally just after Vasquez rocks when you go in that direction. And they extended it there because they needed a deserty type place to shoot Westerns that they could pay people local rates for as opposed to paying them travel time.
Yeah.
So it's like an hour or two outside LA or something, but
Mhm.
that's where the line is drawn. So that's why you see Vasquez rocks all the time, because it's the only place that fits that sort of deserty look,
Mhm.
arid sort of, southwestern feel that is within the boundary of local for SAG. So like it's amazing, like little shit like that. That's what I love about the film industry. When you
And
find these little trivia nuggets that explain why things happen, and it's always, always, always because of money.
that was one job that if I could ever get the job, I would love to have it. If I was ever able to do something like that, would be a location person for finding
A
sets.
location scout.
Oh, that would be a fun. You take one of your friends or whatever and just drive around looking for little quaint cities or towns or a place in the woods next to a lake, specific places, take photos and then make sure that you send them in. I just think that'd be great to be able to do that because I had some friends that got to do that. And also, they loved what their favorite thing was they got to go to people's homes, and because someone would say, oh, I have a cousin and their basement is like it's right out of the 60s or whatever. And they'd say, what? And he goes, yeah, you need to check it out. Well, send me some pictures. And they look and they go, holy shit, this is great. And they go on and make a few changes, to it, but then use them in, TV series or other movies or whatever because of the nostalgic look because grandma or grandpa didn't want to change it. It's got the upholstered furniture with the plastic on it, all those things that make it iconic. And that's why, there's a lot of websites you can go to find those things for locations nowadays, to specific things that you list on there. To be able to have it in a TV show or a movie or used in a commercial or a music video or something like that. I just think it's really, really cool that a lot of people just like to keep that stuff and that, that some people that are interested in those things can find that and dig it up and get to watch it because they'll come in and say, okay, well, do you want us to put it back like it was? And they'll say, no, I love what you did or whatever and leave it that way. So just depends. I just think that's really fun. That would do a great job.
I'm still kind of shocked that I haven't seen this movie before, and it's because it's such a fun film to watch. I'm just gonna decide myself. I'm not giving it anything less than 75 this week. I can guarantee that. Fucking great.
You're very muffly.
You sound like you're underwater.
Why am I underwater? Hold on.
Now you sound better.
No, I'm just saying that like I'm very surprised about this film. I'm very, very much just kind of in shock. Like I'd never seen this before. This movie's right up my alley. This movie has like a better. It's got that same vibe as Space Hunter. It has almost the same plot as the Duke Nukem 3D video game. I mean, for crying out loud, how did I not know about this? And there's the fucking little panel van or the little panel truck they're driving around in the whole time. The little pink truck, like somebody that was doing the property master work, like that thing there looks so freaking iconic. Granted,
Well, they wanted an old school PT Cruiser, but they couldn't afford one. But they could afford a 47 Chevy panel truck, which they could then trick out to look like a PT Cruiser.
That's what I was going to say. It looked like a PT Cruiser to me, but I love the fact that it was pink. You know what I kept thinking when I saw it? Because I didn't.
They were going to sell you makeup?
No, I was thinking that the TV show 6 Feet Under. I absolutely love that series, that TV show, and the daughter drove like a pink hearse. That's what she drove to school, and that's what it reminded me of every time I saw it driving down the road. Even though it wasn't, but it resembled the front end of it. I just thought it was really cool. But I would drive that.
What was that show? I think it's from the 70s, maybe. About the submarine that got painted pink.
I remember people talking about it. I remember, but I would drive that. I would if someone gave me that car, the picture car, to let me have it. I would drive it around town, and I'd be proud to drive it. I think
Is that a Tony Curtis movie?
Well, there was a movie, and then they made a TV. Yeah, Operation Petticoat from 77 to 79. So it's a 50s movie, 1959, but there was a TV show from 77 to 79 on ABC. Interesting. I wonder if that was a reference to that.
Oh, it might have been because it had all the women in the back.
Exactly.
You are. My mom loved that show, Petticoat Junction.
No, not Petticoat Junction. Operation Petticoat.
Oh,
Petticoat Junction was a whole other
yeah,
thing.
yeah. That my mom loved that show. She used to watch reruns with my grandma. But I haven't seen the other one then.
Yeah, it's about a submarine that picks up a bunch of nurses and gets painted pink. So that's the gag. Pink
Oh.
is gay. That's the gag. 1959, 1977 in humor. Pink is gay. Thank you, Janet.
I like pink.
Thank you, Janet.
Well, I added this underneath this army thing because there was an army girl that I liked, and I thought she was really cool. And then the other girls were all wearing lingerie and stuff, so I thought, well, I'll just mix my military flight suit with some lingerie and then my dog tag.
I approve this message.
Fun fact: the irradiated beer that Sam Hell was drinking is plausible. Our government did nuke soft drinks and beer to see if it was a viable source of hydration after a supposed nuclear attack. And they found that yes, you can survive off of it in a worst case scenario, depending on how close it was to the initial blast. And it did affect the taste, but the farther it was from the blast, the better it tasted.
Weird.
Bruce,
Our
stop ripping off your
government's weird shit with our money.
Again, there, Bear.
I said, stop ripping off your lizard cover. You're going to expose your reptilian finger if you keep flicking at your skin like that.
No, I just got a bunch of glue on my hands yesterday because I started unboxing my miniatures while my.
What is this thing you're painting?
This is a giant tree thing, and he's kind of mean looking, but he's got a bunch of mushrooms on fungi all over him. So
he's a fun guy.
Yeah. Seriously.
Is he like that tree creature that we killed that had all those body parts?
You're so violent, Janet.
I know it. Is that what it is? Like the one trying to kill us?
It looks like that.
Oh yeah. I didn't like him. I did die.
Everybody died except for Travis yesterday. Travis went on an ethereal jaunt, and that just kind of happens. Sorry. I mean, it was going to happen at some point.
That's the second time I've died.
I was so impressed with yesterday. You guys did a good job, but then after that event, like the umph for continuing the narrative or story or just fraternizing with each other, that just died. Like people had other things going on. You had other things going on. Travis fucking walked away from the PC. I know he's got a lot of things going on with his home now that he's got his girlfriend and family living with him, but it's just like, fuck. I just want to either we continue, let's push on, or we quit and we just fucking wrap it up for 2 weeks. We'll come back. Eventually, we just wrapped it up. If you guys in the chat have seen Hell Comes to Frogtown, give your review, your rating, whatever you're thinking, put it in the chat, and I'll have Janet read it. Bear, with this movie here, could you see them trying to do a remake with this? Because that seems to be the flavor of the month in Tinseltown right now.
I wouldn't want them to.
I think they made 2 more movies, didn't they?
And they're awful. From everything I've heard, they're really bad. But I wouldn't want to see them make a remake of this. It's a perfect little gem.
It's a classic.
Leave it alone. Leave it be.
I think Six Nations saw the first sequel. I don't think he saw.
I've seen the first and second one. I haven't seen the third one. I'll probably be looking for it tonight and severely depressed because Roddy Piper ain't in it either. But
yeah,
I know this sounds really bad. I'll watch a Robert Z'Dar film no matter how little the budget is, and I don't know why I do that to myself, but Robert Z'Dar movies are really high dollar schlock. If you like schlock, if you can handle schlock, get into it, you know. But that's just
Maniac Cop. Yeah.
Maniac Cop 1 and 2. Those are fun movies. Bear's gonna like just beat the hell out of me one of these days because I said that, but I could see us discussing Maniac Cop 1 and 2 at some point, or Wolf Cop.
It's the three movies that I think of Roddy Piper is obviously Hell Comes to Frogtown, They Live, and then The Immortals with Sonny
I haven't
Chiba.
seen that one.
He's in a movie
It's
with
horrible.
Sonny Chiba.
So he was only in 3 movies total.
Like
No,
20.
he's been in a couple.
He's in
Oh.
like 20 movies, but like 17.
But those are the three that
Well,
stick out in my mind
The other
because
ones
that was
weren't good
the
either.
stuff that
So
was
he
playing
made
on cable.
bunches of bad movies.
He was a wrestler.
I know. So Steve Austin made movies. A bunch of other wrestlers went into movies. The Rock.
I wouldn't recommend a Steve Austin movie.
Well, I've seen a couple of them. The Condemned was really good.
I did not like The Condemned.
Well, I did. So I'm just saying other people liked it or they wouldn't have bought tickets.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Austin sells tickets. I'll say that.
But the thing is, I don't see anything wrong with whatever you did before you made movies. If you make movies and you enjoy it, I mean, this movie was way better than that one, the Badass one that you got me to watch. So and it had, what was a boxlinger in it. So it doesn't matter what they did before. I mean, if they're good at what they're doing and they can make money or make a living doing it, then, just like what we were talking about, what's his name? Nicolas Cage is making movies, even though that they have nothing, they're crap, but he'll make them just for the money,
Hello, Misty. Oh my God, it's a rare Misty sighting. Hello, Misty.
Yeah, she's the one that's got long hair.
I love your new apartment now that we can see what's going on with you whenever the cats decide to become affectionate. Because before, like, you would have a shirt on and then you would be cloaked in shadow. You'd be like one of those basketball players
Floating
that has to
heads.
be unlocked on NBA 2007 or something. You
Anyway, Piper did other films. He just did a lot of direct-to-video stuff, low-budget stuff. He shot one here in Montreal called Marked Man. Sadly, I was in Vancouver when it filmed, so I didn't.
Well, I mean, does he have any other good movies? That's what I was asking.
No, no.
Yeah.
So basically, They Live is the best one he ever did.
They Live his hands and how
I
you
love
gonna do better?
They Live. What I remembered of it, I thought was really, really good. So I'm going to enjoy watching it.
What do you want?
Well, They Live is also a John Carpenter, like, just you. There's not another movie in John Carpenter's lineup that actually, in my opinion, is anything like They Live. That is a amazing film.
Well, it's part of the Apocalypse trilogy, right?
No, actually,
No, it's
that one's
It
not.
is. Yeah.
It
The
is.
Thing, Prince of Darkness, They Live. That's the Apocalypse. Oh no, it's right. No, it's not. No, because it's Mouth of Madness. That's right. It's not.
Madness. Yeah.
Which is a shame because it is. It should be because it's the same trilogy.
It was his homage to Reaganomics, wasn't
Well,
it?
that's why the fight scene takes so long between Piper and David Keith, because Carpenter felt during the 80s you had to beat someone's head against the wall for 10 minutes to get them to see your point of view. So he put it on film. Great movie.
Somebody put it says Hell Comes to Frogtown review, a 5 Rowdy Roddy Pipers out of bikini armor and shotguns.
Yeah, that's what's his name? What is that? The Z Idiot or whatever, that guy who does the film reviews, where it's like, I give this movie 7 shotguns out of 33 Jimmy Lee Curtis's.
Oh no, I haven't seen him, but that's
awesome.
Yeah.
It's like it's something boy, High Boy is his name, and it says all his reviews are, Hell Comes to Frogtown reviewed by a complete idiot. It's just his reviews are really fun.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's really good. But yeah, so what are you guys' review? I mean, what are you going to give it? I know you give it thumbs up, thumbs down, or whatever.
I say yeah, meh, or nah. This is obviously yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Bruce?
I'm going to give this movie an 82 out of 100 because it's it's instantly quotable. There's a lot of things in this movie that does right. The makeup effects are done really well. You wouldn't expect it to be just $1 million. You'd think it'd be like $3 to $5 million for the time that they produced it. The acting is really good. The sets look good. The props are great. Everybody looks like they had fun. There's not a bad thing about this movie. It's a little redonkulous, but fuck. I mean, you're watching a movie for crying out loud, not trying to solve the world's problems and launch rockets into space. This is entertainment. So this movie does everything that I want it to. I'm gonna give it an 82 because it's an amazing film. It's like the creme de la creme of schlock, but it's not quite Big Trouble in Little China quality. I love this. This is a good film.
Well, Six Nations, what do you have to say about it?
Now, this is way above just your average 5-star 50% rating for me. I mean, this is a cult classic. I grew up in the late 80s and early 90s with this practically playing on a daily basis somewhere, either at a friend's house or my house, doing chores, homework, whatever, or late night when we're sneaking to go watch some movies on cable when we got like free cable weekend. And I would give this at the very least a 75 out of 100. It's got Rory Calhoun in it. It's got freaking Roddy Piper. You got William Smith, Sandal Bergman, freaking all these cheesy moments in the movie. Like, it harkens back to everything that I grew up as a kid in the 80s watching, and it's great. So going into my teens, watching this, I loved it. And then, like, as I got older and I started watching it, like the lighting and the cinematography, like there's certain scenes that stick out, and you're like, if they had a larger budget and a little bit more time or what have you, it would have been, that much better. It's not a bad movie. I would definitely recommend it. Not little kid friendly, but thankfully it's not as traumatic as the Dance of the Three Snakes would make it sound either.
Yeah, that was scary.
Pollywogs or no pollywogs?
This movie is almost a really good, not great, but really good D&D adventure, because if they are going into a village of bullywugs and they're having to save,
Bullywugs captured a caravan of priestesses that were being transported, killed all the guards, and now your players have been hired to infiltrate Bullytown and get the women back from the Bullywug revolutionary leader. Oh, like where you going with this, Bruce?
Yeah, and I don't know if you watched a lot of the old D&D cartoon growing up as a young man, Bear, but the cartoon for the D&D guys, they had like 2 or 3 adventures where they bumped into bullywugs. And so if you watched the cartoon and then you played the game, if your DM did due diligence, you bumped into bullywugs quite frequently because it made it seem like the bullywugs were kind of everywhere. They were more popular than orcs for bad guys. And they had a funny way of talking, so you would always hear the people try to imitate that at the table. It was just fun. So this movie hits a lot of high notes for me. I loved it.
Nice.
That would be kind of scary though for a game, because once you went through and risked your life and nearly died and be brought back to life or whatever to save all the women, and then you're bringing them back to the people that they took them from, and then you find out they all start giving birth to all these mutated.
Wow, Janet, you just went to a dark place.
I know, but I couldn't help it. It's a popped in my head.
Well, basically, Janet, without realizing it, because she doesn't know D&D lore, Bruce, just figured out
I don't know. I don't know.
Secretly working for the Slan.
I've traumatized her. The Slad have definitely affected.
Oh, have you used the Slad on her?
They
Yes, it's
they
like
haven't
it has
successfully been used,
it gets
but
on
they've
your
been
face,
there.
it goes down your throat and in your eyeballs and up your nostrils and stuff. And then
That's the elliphids.
okay,
That's a
with
lizard.
that,
Yes.
and then there was another one that had. Remember, the girls were like their stomachs were wiggling around, and I almost threw up. Remember when we were playing that one game?
I have used the slides on you. Yes.
It was disgusting, and even the Six Nations kind of got grossed out. We all got grossed out. It was just
Don't drag me into your personal hell, please.
yeah, it was
I'm trying to forget.
disgusting. You know,
I'm
and I
drinking
can
alcohol to
very
forget.
vivid imagination. You know, I can put myself in there, and I was like, that's a horrible way to die. We should burn all these people. Remember?
But you also find out on the way back that the King's Guard have been working to overthrow the kingdom because the queen is in charge, and they were loyal to her father, the king, and they disagree with the daughter taking the throne. So they've been working with the Bullywugs, arming them for an eventual invasion, not realizing the Slad have infiltrated the Bullywugs and are using them to kidnap prisoners to impregnate with Slad babies. Ooh, write this in fucking adventure, man.
That is disgusting.
Bruce, write it. I will publish it. Write it.
I think I will.
This is a great adventure.
Yeah, that is just gross. I mean, if you want to make people sick to their stomach, new players. But I'm gonna give my score. I guess I like it more than you two did because I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really, really, really good. I really couldn't find anything really bad wrong with it besides that it was corny. And that would be the writer. But it was still a good, entertaining story, and they picked the right people to play the characters to keep them entertaining with their arcs throughout the story. And the music it didn't pull me out. It wasn't over the top or anything like that. It was the fact that it didn't have more money, and if they'd had more money, I think it would have been a way better film. But I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was like a movie that was corny, cheesy, entertaining with warts and all. You know what I mean? It was
Literally.
yeah, you loved it. You loved the bad schlock that was in it. I mean, it was just like Spaceballs. I mean, I liked this movie even more than I liked Spaceballs, honestly.
Yeah.
The more I'm thinking about it, it was definitely way more entertaining. It kept me enthralled. I was rooting for the hero. All the things that you're supposed to get out of a movie, I got from this one. So I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I really thought it was really good. And so I guess I liked it a lot more than you guys did, even though it was, and it had nothing to do with women being in charge or anything like that. To me, the concept of getting a man that's very virile to impregnate as many women as possible because you're on the verge of extinction, to me, it made perfect sense in a corny way that they presented it. But I don't know. I love sci-fi. I love horror. I love action. I love kung fu. I love a lot of different genres. But this kind of like meshed a bunch of different things all together and made it fun. So I don't know how else to explain it besides that. But if you are looking for something that's more like Dangerous Liaisons or something like that, this is not a movie for you. But if you're into a movie that's funny, that's got a little bit of romance, a lot of sexual innuendos, got macho men in it, and things like that, then this movie's up your alley, and I think you'll enjoy it. It was I really liked it. I was impressed. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I
recommend it.
I really can't disagree. This movie is a lot of fun to just watch, to look at. Sandal Bergman just being that little mousy character at the start of the movie, and then towards the end of the film, she is a very confident lady. She does go through an arc. I will admit that, Bear.
Aha! I win.
But the thing, I mean, there's certain parts of the movie where just you could tell there was some other stuff going on, or maybe they didn't prep right before they started rolling with cameras. It's just small facial expressions. It's not a big thing, but that's probably my most critical part of the film. I love watching this movie because the fact that you can tell that when they're using the frogs front and center, there's probably about 10 people helping operate those mouths and getting everything, the eyes to roll properly. That takes a lot of good talent and coordination to choreograph that and get it to look right is a pain in the ass. And this is one of the few movies that does full body puppetry. I think I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Did we
they
mention
spent
that, the composer-
$12,000 on the makeup for the frog people. That was it.
Did
I
we,
think
did
they
we
were
mention
phenomenal.
who the composer was?
Yeah, I told you who it was. It was Ben Shapiro's father.
Yeah.
David Shapiro.
Yeah, David Shapiro. So I was really shocked. But see
And
the
that's kind of-
difference.
They stole my
I can
plan
make
for the
just a
post-COVID
studious
apocalypse that we were
person.
supposed to have.
But then you
Okay, Jared.
it just be sexy. You see, that's what she did. She basically was
Let's see if it
able
works for me.
Well-
Hang on. No, it doesn't.
No, you're supposed to do this.
Nerd. What's your synopsis?
But I love it. I thought it was great. And the fact that she was mousy at the beginning and stuff, wearing her hair up and everything. I thought she did really good. I thought her character arc was exactly what she was supposed to do. And I was
I love
impressed.
her
I said
delivery on the
she was a
line,
good actress. She did
I
really
love her
good.
delivery on the line, "You're out of uniform, Corporal." Like, it's such a good delivery. It's like so you can just feel the seething jealousy she has for Sentinella at that moment. It's brilliant.
Yeah. But she had good composure. And their chemistry was really good too.
Yeah.
The subtle details with the lingerie. It was post-apocalyptic lingerie that she was wearing, and then she busted out the psychological seductive programming lingerie, and then did her little dance.
Her inner camo lingerie
I absolutely
with
hate
white
that.
lace frillage. Like, what the hell?
Oh, that was ugly. I wouldn't want to wear that. But I want to ask you guys a serious question. Did you guys like her seductive dance thing that she was doing? Not
No.
for the frog. The other one where she was just rubbing herself and doing her yoga stretches and stuff.
No.
Not really.
Yeah,
No.
I think Jamie Lee Curtis did a
movie
good job
didn't
in her
do it
movie.
for
me. So this is
talented
This is the
dancer.
primary difference between a professional trained dancer
Mhm.
and a stripper. Sandal Bergman is a professionally trained dancer.
Mhm.
They don't do seductive well because they're too busy doing their Fosse shit. You know what I mean? Whereas, like,
It's so
some
funny,
sugar
though.
kicked in, and
But it was
I don't
perfect
know.
for the part because she was so mechanical. It was like
Yeah.
because she had no idea what she was doing. She was trying to be. She was trained into seducing men, but that's what the military would do. It'd make you look like a, not.
She was voguing before
The
it was
beginning of
popular.
the dance with the three snakes was so great. It started out with the typical white person dance.
Yeah,
It was
it was
awesome.
great. And then when she had the lacy outfit on, she did a lot better. But I hated those shoes. I just said, "Oh my God, whoever picked those shoes out should be fired."
Well, you don't get to kink shame the toad. That's the problem, Janet. He was
I
into
know.
those shoes.
I know he was. Ugh, he was disgusting. He was worse than Jabba the Hutt. He was more repulsive to me than Jabba the Hutt was.
There's
Even
the
when he
tag.
was Jabba the Hutt was licking his lips and stuff. Ooh, that was gross too. That grossed me out.
So
This is going to devolve into something really bad.
next,
I'm going to change the subject. So 2 weeks from now, because next
Easter.
weekend's Easter, and we can't watch a Hannibal Lecter movie on
I'm
Easter.
in.
That would
I'll
just
watch
be
a Hannibal Lecter movie on Easter.
awkward.
I'm in.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
if you guys
It's not
want
a
to watch,
Hannibal movie. It's-
if you want to watch Manhunter next week, we can watch Manhunter next week, and then do Band of the Hand the week after.
Gonna do a Michael Mann back to back.
Yeah,
I don't think any
That would be
human can
epic.
handle that.
Man of the Hand? Is that what you said?
Band of the Hand.
Hand of the Hand.
Hand. Okay.
I believe it's Janet Leigh's first real big movie.
I've
Janet
never
Leigh?
seen it.
Janet Leigh, isn't
Ooh.
she in that?
Janet Leigh?
Who's the young girl that's in that movie?
Band of the Hand?
Yeah,
Lauren Hawley.
Lauren Hawley. That's one of her first big
Oh
films.
yeah, she's the one that ended up. Didn't she actually date Jim Carrey or something after they
did.
that movie
She did.
together?
I forgot John Cameron Mitchell's in it. Oh my God, Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep, Larry Fishburne. That's in his Larry Fishburne days, if I remember right. That and King of New York.
That was a good one too.
Excellent Walken film. Before Walken went into like absurdity, that was one of his better movies, I thought.
What do you mean?
There was a point where Walken was kind of like a serious actor, and then one day he does this rap video where he's just dancing around, and he never got a super serious role ever again. It was like Mouse Hunt, things like that. He's a really good actor, don't get me wrong, but his acting, his choices in movies, he didn't do serious again. There's the pre-video days where he did like King of New York, Suicide Kings.
Love that movie.
And then after that, video came out where they just saw his lighter side. Every movie he did had a lighter side to it.
Well, yes and no. I mean, King of New York's a whole other beast of a movie, but Suicide Kings was the '90s, man. He was already like back to being Christopher Walken. And I mean, he did Pulp Fiction before or after Suicide Kings.
Well, honestly, though,
Before.
Bruce, an actor, unless he was like totally gonzo, nutso, or whatever, and people just weren't giving him jobs, most actors take whatever movies they feel that they're best at performing in, as far as I can tell. So if he was not doing what you thought he should do as an actor, then he was probably just not in movies that you thought were very good.
No, I'm not quote unquote saying that. I'm saying that there's two different eras of Walken films. Like I guess the video and the performance he did in Pulp Fiction are kind of like that pivot point, because before that he was trying to do like serious acting roles like Brainstorm and Suicide Kings, and then Suicide Kings was after Pulp Fiction, but he's still in that was like a transitory phase. And then after he did this video, I can't remember the name of the video. I know the chat will know this, but
oh, you mean the dance video where he does
dance video?
Fatboy Slim.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
he was in that Fatboy Slim video, and after that, it like seemed like all the things he did were he was going along the lines of fan service, which is not bad, but he didn't do his quote unquote serious movie roles.
I heard you say so many bad things about Jason Statham, and then since you saw it, and I told you I saw The Beekeeper and I thought it was really good, and then you see it and now you think he's a good actor. So
No, I don't think he's a good actor. I think he's the same actor we've been seeing all the time.
but you liked him in The Beekeeper.
The Beekeeper is actually tethered. That movie wouldn't work with anybody else. That movie is perfectly suited for Jason Statham. Just like there are certain modern roles for The Rock or Dwayne Johnson that nobody else would really be able to do right, because it's not somebody that could just portray themselves. Jason Statham is like The Rock. He plays the same character in 90% of his movies, but
Because he picks what he knows he's good at. See, that to me is a good actor. He's not a method actor. He's an action type actor. So to me, I've loved almost every movie I've seen him in as him.
Have you seen Snatch?
Seen what?
Have you seen Snatch?
I think so. I'd have to go see the trailer to make sure.
What about Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels?
I don't know. I'd have to go see it.
So you haven't seen the two movies that put Jason Statham on the map, is what we're saying.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
Because there's
Statham is only considered an actor because he's paid money to be in movies and play characters not named Jason Statham, but he plays one character in every movie, Jason Statham.
Yeah, like Melanie Griffith.
He's like Schwarzenegger in that regard.
But what I'm saying is a lot of actors and actresses do that.
It doesn't make them good actors.
No, I didn't say he was a good actor. I said
yes, you did, Janet. Roll back the video.
The Beekeeper. I said he was good in The Beekeeper, but he's good at what he does for his characters that he plays. Just like Liam Neeson or any of them, if they step. I love Liam. My favorite movie with Liam is Rob Roy. That's my favorite movie of all time that he's ever done. I absolutely love that movie. I've seen it like 70 times. I just love that movie. I love Tim Roth. I love their type of movies and a couple of his TV shows and things like that for Tim Roth. But he plays the same kind of characters too. You see what I mean?
My favorite, who the hell did you know? Liam Neeson? My favorite Liam Neeson film is Kroll.
Which one?
Kroll.
I don't know if I've seen that
The
one.
Bandit.
Are you serious?
Kroll, Janet? Put it on the list. Just
All right, fuck it.
I
Easter
haven't seen that
Sunday,
one.
Kroll. We'll go to Michael Mann back to back.
I have not seen that one. I'm sorry.
We're
I mean,
doing
I
Kroll
can't see
next
every
week.
single movie every person's in.
God damn
But
it.
I've seen a lot. But I love Rob Roy. That was one of the first movies I told Bruce to put on the list, and we did do that movie. I just loved it. It's very well done.
Movie, though.
I bawled my eyes out every single time I watch it still. I can't help it. It's just
Janet,
so good.
Janet, we love you, but there are things with movies that will cause you to have the waterworks come out.
Yeah.
And the rest of it, like I'm watching a movie and I'm like, well, that's a pretty good film. And I hear you crying in the background. I'm like, yep, it is a good film. Janet's crying.
Can't help
Have
it.
you seen Iron Giant, Janet?
Do what?
Have you seen Iron Giant?
Mm-mm.
Movies that make men cry.
No, I haven't seen it.
Mm.
Oh, I wanted 13th Warrior on the thing too.
Great movie.
That's a
I
good
love
movie.
that movie too. That's one of my
That's
favorite
Turner?
movies he's
Yeah,
in.
it's McTiernan, eh?
Mhm. That's what I'm saying. I like lots of movies. There's something about the story, I guess, is what pulls me in or something. I don't just have one specific actor that I love over anyone else. You know what I mean?
Have you guys done Last Starfighter yet?
Yes. Yes, sir. One of my favorite movies. That's an iconic 1984 film, I might add.
Mhm.
It's 84, greatest year in the history of cinema.
What was the name of the actor that played the guy that was looking for the starfighters? What was his
Robert
name?
Preston?
Robert
What?
Preston, the Music Man.
Yeah, him. He was also in Victor Victoria, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yep.
he was.
I love that movie. That was one of my mom's favorite movies, and I just love it because I watched it over and over with my mother. And my mom loved James Garner, and I loved him in that, and I loved him in The Gambler. I've loved him in a bunch of Maverick. You know, he was in the Maverick movie. I loved him in that. I got Bruce to do that one too. Most of my movie imprint, I guess, is because of movies my mother liked, and she got us to watch them. So can't help it. But
I'm just so surprised you've never seen Kroll before. This makes no sense. Like, how can you be so into Star Trek and other wonderful sci-fi and you don't know the movie Kroll? Like, this is so not what I was expecting.
no, I've heard of it. I just never watched it. I heard it wasn't very good.
Who told you these lies?
No, right?
They're not into sci-fi either. So
It's not a sci-fi movie. It's sci fantasy.
Yes.
well,
This is
They're not
Got sword
Arthurian.
and sorcery and lasers and
no, I have not seen
creepy
this movie.
worm thing.
And Lisa
Popping out of the
Anthony
skull.
overdubbed by Lindsay Cruz.
I think I loved a lot of these actors, and I love knights and horses and swords. I love all
Oh,
that.
you'll love the horses in this movie.
It's got a freaking cyclops
I
in
love
it.
cyclopses.
Awesome.
Wow,
It's
it's
got
got
Robbie
kind of
Coltrane.
good actors in it.
It's got Liam Neeson, Robbie Coltrane. It's amazing.
Yeah, I want to see this one.
Yeah, we will. We will next
I
week.
haven't seen it. Looks good.
The
Yeah.
movie is so amazing. It's got some great special effects. It's got good set design. They use the sets very effectively. They look like they're made with $20 worth of styrofoam at the time, but they work well. I don't understand why people give this movie so much shit because it does everything a movie should. But yeah, we're watching this
I'll be
next week.
honest with what my point of view is. Like I try to do with everything I do because I don't know how else not to do it. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to does not voice my opinion.
Well, you're allowed. You're allowed to voice your opinion. What are you worried about?
No, I'm just saying. Sometimes Bruce goes, I could tell he's not real happy with some of my points of view, but that's okay.
It happens.
But he knows I'm never just going to agree with him either. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell him that sucks.
My favorite moment when Janet split with me on a decision was when we watched Midnight Meat Train.
Oh God!
And I love that movie. That movie's got some good spots in it. It's got some really good stuff in it. And Janet's just like, oh yeah, I like the gore, I like the action. Everything else about that movie I hated. Well, Brooke Shields acted for once. Brooke Shields, she did her first acting job in that movie.
The part that I liked the best of that movie was the fight with the young Asian girl in the train. That was the best fight scene in the movie. And the rest of the movie was pretty shitty. That's just how I felt. This wasn't very good. I mean, this movie we watched today was better than that movie. and that other movie had a shit ton of money in it.
It also had Roddy Piper.
Well,
in it, so.
Roddy Piper, and so the action choreography is going to be great. Which I thought this movie had great action choreography. I liked so much. It kind of makes me upset that Roddy Piper just did not turn into a movie star that we kind of were owed that.
Yeah, but
just
Bruce
didn't.
also tells me, no, we're not going to watch that movie. When
What movies have I said no to?
You said no to The Bridge Over to Terabithia. You said no, you wouldn't let me watch that one.
I will watch that movie in a couple more years. I've seen it in the last 20 years. I'm good.
Okay, see, and you did not want to do Bad Girls, and it's one of your most watched movies. And The Great Raid is one of the
it is one of the most watched movies. Bad Girls, yes, but it is also the movie. Bad Girls is the movie that I cannot stand. It's got Drew Barrymore. I don't really go much further.
And I want Charlie's Angels. I want it on the list, and you said you didn't want to put it on the list either. So
Drew Barrymore. What? Yes, there's very few movies with Drew Barrymore that I like.
It's not
Firestarter right out.
Firestarter is a great movie. That movie I would put on the list. Again, I'll put that on the list. But I just can't stand Drew Barrymore. Like after she met Adam
you
Sandler,
have to be able to separate that you hate someone. Like I hate Jane Fonda. I absolutely hate her. As my dad told me stories about things that she said about military people and stuff, and I have no like for her at all. But I loved a couple of the movies that she's been in because I can look past shit they said and see them as an actor and just in a movie. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with real life. So I can
instead of Barbarella, this channel will be doing a review for heavy metal.
Nice.
Because there's no need for Barbarella when there's heavy metal. There's Bridge of Terabithia is a good kids film. Give me another few years and I might want to watch it again. But right now, no. Drew Barrymore made a bunch of really disposable dating and young girl slut movies back in the 2000s.
I didn't watch any of them, I don't think.
And
the Dancing Pants or whatever that one was. Something, the Traveling Pants or whatever. I do. My sister, my sisters wanted me to go, and I was like, no, I'm not paying money.
It was a very good movie. The pants traveled, and there was a sisterhood. There we
go. Whatever.
That would be my 30-second review. Yes. Thank you, Bear.
30-second review of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I'm a heterosexual man who is not comfortable watching preteen girls. I turned off the movie. Thank you.
I did the same thing with Coyote Ugly, oddly enough.
Really?
I liked Coyote Ugly.
I had to be put in front of that movie like 4 times before I saw it from front to back because I would find something else to do. And it took me a while to get into it. And I can see it now. I can watch it now, but it took me like 4 times where people had to sit me down and like, oh, well, like I need to build this monster for my D&D game, or I need to paint this or that for my D&D game. And I never did get into Coyote Ugly. It took me 4 fucking separate times to finally watch it. And once I realized that, okay, I actually like the lead, the bar owner. the bar manager. I forget her name. She's in a few other movies I really like. She was in Payback. She was in a movie with the guy that plays Aragorn in
Bridget
Pennsylvania.
Monahan.
Yes, not Bridget Monahan, the blonde-haired girl in Payback.
Piper Perabo
Piper
or
Perabo.
whatever.
No, Pepper's great, but
Yeah.
Piper's great, but she has an Italian last name, Maria Bello.
Mary Bella.
Yeah,
Oh,
once I realized Maria Bello was really doing a great job acting because I'd seen some interviews with her and she didn't really act the same way in the interview that she did in the movie. Okay, fine, I'll watch this film.
History of
Did you put the
Violence.
package on the list yet for me?
The package and the drop are both on the list.
Okay, good.
I don't know if you've seen the drop yet, but the package is on
No,
the
I
list.
haven't seen the drop, but the package I've seen.
Actual movies, or is this code talk?
No.
for
These
something
are both
else?
movies. The drop is a James Gandolfini movie with Tom Hardy.
I haven't seen it.
Huh.
It was
Have to
released
check
like
it out.
5
Package is
years.
really good. It's a Gene Hackman movie. It's one of my favorite movies by him.
Oh wait, the package with
Will Smith,
what's his
Will
face
Smith.
from
isn't it?
No, I don't think Will Smith's in that one.
You're talking about Enemy of the State.
like
Enemy of the State was with Will Smith.
Oh, that's Enemy of the State. Okay, so the package is the '89 film, right?
that was the Cold War one with Gene Hackman
Gene
and him.
Hackman
Right.
and Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. That's
Dennis
it.
Franz is in it. Joanna
Tommy Lee
Cassidy's in it. John
It's
Hurt's
so
in it.
good. It's so good. It's such a
Pam
good.
Greer's in it.
I mean, you guys got to see Tiptoes. Have you seen Tiptoes?
Nope.
It's a very unusual film with some very big artists. Hold on.
And it's not a way to sell me on a film. It's
Okay. It's like the worst movie. If there was a movie that Simple Jack preached against, it was Tiptoes.
Is that a Tropic Thunder reference?
It is.
Okay.
Okay. So Tiptoes is a 2002 movie with Gary Oldman, Peter Dinklage, Kate Beckinsale, Matthew McConaughey, Pat Arquette, Debbie Lee Carrington, who was the blonde-haired midget in Total Recall, David Allen Greer. It's got the best fucking cast of a movie that sucks I've ever seen. And then, like, the rest of the movie is nothing but midgets. And they made Gary Oldman walk on his knees because he was a midget too. He's supposed to be Peter Dinklage's brother.
Damn.
I want to see this movie.
Nothing in that description makes me want to see that movie.
I never even heard of it.
Morbid curiosity.
Nope.
It's so bad.
Yeah, you two, okay, are the ones that got me to watch that movie with the president badass or whatever killing werewolves and stuff and having to watch a guy poop in a jar. Okay, that almost threw up. So,
Abraham
I
Lincoln,
can
American
watch that
Badass.
shit. You can watch
No.
Pythia.
FDR.
FDR.
She's
that was
starting to
disgusting.
use that on me now as a
I can't help it. It was so gross. And
I
I'm
had
like,
no idea that there was going to be poop in a jar.
Yeah, when I watched that movie the first
I was thinking
time,
this is going to be schlock, not like, oh my
It
god,
was
this is like lust in the dust, divine, ugh,
it was gross.
Ed Wood weirdness. No,
Yeah, it was over
Ed
the
Wood
top
weirdness.
gross.
Wow, can we copyright that? Can we trademark that?
Ugh. So I've sacrificed. I've had many nights where I couldn't sleep because of something I had to watch because of you wanted to watch it. So you could suffer through a Drew Barrymore movie. Okay. So I think you could do it. You can laugh all you want, but I swear I have done it for you.
I've been held hostage watching chick flicks. I had to sit there through a Coyote Ugly and freaking Moulin Rouge.
Oh, yeah, it's another
and-
one. Oh,
You've done
there
it
you
now,
go.
Josh.
Fuck.
Hey, it's good. It's a good movie. It's got good music and everything in it.
Which one?
Good night, everybody.
All that jazz. Robert's whatever his name is, Roy Snyder.
Roy Schneider.
movie?
Roy Scheider.
Scheider, yeah.
Scheider.
Scheider.
I met him.
The guy,
He looked
really?
like a human
Oh my
Muppet.
God, I'd love to have met him.
He looked like a human Muppet, dude.
He looked like a Muppet?
I'm not kidding. He looked like he was made out of fucking felt.
Really?
What
He was
happened?
so old and he was so tanned.
Oh, because of his tan, yeah.
Leathery skin.
Well, that's
People,
like
my
Dennis
mom said
Franz.
she met what's that? George Hamilton. My
I
mom
worked
met
with
him,
George Hamilton.
and she said he had skin like that, that he was a god. He was so good looking. She thought that Desi Arnaz was that attractive too. My mom thought Desi Arnaz
I
was
worked
so
with
good.
George Hamilton on an A&E miniseries, P.T. Barnum, directed by Simon Windsor, the guy who did The Phantom and stuff like that.
Oh, I
And
would love to.
Davis and Marlboro Man and all that good stuff. And George Hamilton is the coolest human being I've ever been on set with.
I
He
bet.
taught us how to smoke cigars properly, which was really kind of a cool skill to learn. But he was the thing that struck me. His entire career, right? At this point, we're talking 90, 98, 99. I think that's when it was. It was around that period.
Yeah.
He's had this entire career. And before one of the takes, he's like, "Hey, can you run lines with me?" And I'm like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just, I got the scene. I'm really nervous." And I'm like, "You're fucking George Hamilton. What do you mean you're nervous?" And he's like, "No, seriously." And we're like, "All right." So we all ran lines, and he made us feel like the boys. He made like the whole group of us, because we had so many scenes together where most of us were just reacting to dialogue. We only had like one or two lines,
Yeah.
but Simon wanted us all there because as actors, we'd be able to react to the scenes properly, unlike extras who would be kind of lost, right? Not know what's going on. So it was a great payday. We had like 10, 15 days on that shoot. It was amazing. But
Yeah.
we got to spend all that time with George. And he was just so fucking cool and chill and an easygoing guy. Like, it's the nicest human being I ever met. Told hilarious stories about the golden age of Hollywood. I won't share them, but some of them were just like, fuck,
Yeah, that's the part that I love the most about all the movies, TV shows, music videos, anything that I worked on. Getting to sit around and just listen to some of them talk to each other about things that they've done in the past. Yeah, they're real people. A lot of people you walk by and their tongues are hanging out or their eyes are popping out and they're mesmerized and they don't hear a damn thing. They don't listen or anything. All they're doing is they're starstruck by them. But after you get to spend time with them, I got to meet Jessica Lange, and she was such a classy, beautiful, wonderful woman. I mean, I never saw her do anything to anyone. She was kind and courteous. I just thought she was wonderful. So I just love it. I feel very blessed to have gotten to meet a lot of these people, but get to see them on a normal level. You know what I mean? Not standing in line to get their autograph. That you know what I'm talking about because you've done it. And get to see them on that perspective. And then when you see them again, I have more respect for them because I see them as another person like me. And I like that. I think I wish more people could visualize them that way.
He's still alive. That's amazing.
Who?
George Hamilton.
Really? Oh, wow. He's
85.
That's great. He looked like he took very good care of himself.
Really? He looked like he put himself through the sun.
Well, just because the doctor says the sun is bad for you doesn't mean it is. I get in the sun and I lay out in the grass and everything. I ground a lot as much as I can.
No, sweetie, you tanned. This man made a career out of being tanned.
Well, I can't help it. I'm not famous.
There's tanning, and then there's Imhotep.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking mummified skin. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I have seen a few of those people on the beach in Florida, especially women, and they're wearing two-piece bathing suit and their skin looks like leather, on a saddle. I don't want to look like that.
There's something about Mary you just reminded me about. There's a scene in Something About Mary where like the old lady takes her shirt off and her boobs are just these ugly tan stretches of like wrinkly skin. They look like a California raisin if you just like dangled and pulled it every day for an hour.
I
I've
did
never-
that once for a costume. I bought some these socks that looked flesh toned, but they were for like support hose, but they were just knee highs. And then I bought some material, and then I dyed it a skin tone, and then I sewed those on there. And I put tennis balls in them, and I swear, with they just kind of like swing around and stuff. Hilarious. I mean, if you want to, dress like an old person. So
I could do the same thing, but I'd have to put them in my pants.
yeah, but that'd be funny as
And then
well.
have the tennis balls hanging out the sides of my shorts as I walk down the street.
I've seen old men like that. I
have
swear.
enough problems in my life.
And they're wearing those.
You know you're old when they touch the ground.
I have to hug her now.
What's scary is I could see why men don't want to sit on the toilet. They want to stand up and pee because they'll be in the water.
I have to watch how I sit down, Janet.
Do what?
I have to watch how I sit down. I don't want to sit my heavy thigh on my Tinder boys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why you have to wear underwear, so everything stays where it belongs.
So I think with that, we're going to have to egress and atone for our misdeeds socially. You can find more of Janet from Another Planet upon her YouTube and her X channel, Bear the Gen X GM. Also,
Does not exist. I'm a figment of your imagination. Leave me alone.
He's the author of the soon-to-be heralded Heroic, the role-playing game, and you should all play it. It's an amazing world, amazing place. You'll have fun. Then you have me and 6 Nations 31 Kings. We're just a couple of mopes. We hang out, we make jokes, and thank you so much.